First out the gate, the Eagles just totally destroying the Rams. 28-22, not even close. And, of course, right afterwards, just as expected, all the morons, they come out of the woodwork, don't they, Tony?
Of course.
And they once again criticize Jalen Hurts because he only passed for 128 yards. Well, all those idiots are just showing their lack of knowledge, aren't they, Tony?
You know, when you criticize Jalen Hurts for not passing the ball, you're disrespecting all the great legends who founded the game of football.
Yep.
They didn't believe in all this passing and deep throwing and helmet wearing. No, they believed in the fundamentals, running, and also, more running. So personally, I think if those legends were alive today, they would love what they're seeing from Jalen Hurts. In fact, they think he had way too many passing yards.
Totally agree, Tony. And, all these people, they're applauding Saquon for having a great game, as we all are.
Of course.
But the whole time, I was just sitting there in awe of those perfect handoffs by Jalen Hurts. I mean,
me too.
There he is in this ice-cold weather, just one perfect handoff after another. It was amazing.
Yeah, we talked about it so many times on this show. Handing off is the most important skill anybody can have.
Yep.
It's what our entire society and environment is built on for everyone.
Yep.
Think about mother birds. We're the Eagles, we won. Think about birds. If they can't hand off their worm to their babies, there'd be no birds. Then there would be no eggs. I mean, breakfast as we know it wouldn't exist anymore.
Just terrific football and also food chain analysis there, Tony. And on that subject, last week we laid it all out for you people. We showed you that Jalen Hurts is the much better statistical QB than Matthew Stafford.
No
and
question.
This game proved it. I mean, sure, Stafford had more passing yards and passing TDs and completions and a higher QB rating and, took fewer sacks and didn't take a safety. But that's all besides the point, isn't it, Tony?
Of course. We all know the most important thing any player can do is hold on to the football. And Jalen did such a terrific job holding on to the football while Stafford kept dropping the football. I mean, you have to ask yourself, who would you want delivering your baby? If you wouldn't want Matthew Stafford as your midwife, how could you want him as your quarterback?
Just food for thought there, Tony. And,
Thank you.
One thing we do have to bring up, a little bit of a down note here. Jalen Hurts is on an injured knee. Clearly hurt his knee in that game. Forced to stay in. Well, why was he forced to stay in? Because, his backups are not named Nick Foles.
Exactly.
And we were sitting here. We did it. You saw the last week's show, right?
Yep.
The video that went viral, us calling Howie Roseman and telling him in a message that was taken by his secretary, Angelo, that we demand that they sign Nick Foles.
It happened.
And, just to have him back. And what you gotta believe right now, Howie Roseman is making that call. You gotta believe it, Tony.
People keep telling us Nick Foles is retired and therefore won't play anymore. Have these people ever heard of wrestling? People are unretiring all the time. Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, look at Ric Flair. He's 75, had 32 heart attacks, and just announced that he's coming out for one more match. So if Ric Flair can do it, why not Nick Foles?
Just great perspective there, Tony. And now let's move to the other games. The Commanders, they beat the Lions. And now people are coming out, they're so impressed with their rookie QB there, Jaden Daniels.
Oh, please.
People, where do you think the Commanders got the idea to draft Jaden Daniels?
Exactly.
Look no further than the Eagles and their QB. They totally copied us, didn't they, Tony?
This isn't just plagiarism. This is plagiarism. The Commanders clearly copied the Eagles' winning blueprint. Just look at their quarterback's first name. Jaden. Sounds an awful lot like Jalen. And what conference did he play in college? The SEC, just like Jalen. And how many colleges did Jaden play for? 2. Again, just like Jalen. And what type of quarterback is Jaden? Mobile. Exactly. And who's his tight end right now? Zach Ertz.
Ertz,
Exactly. And how many interceptions did Jaden throw in college in his whole career? 20. And how many do you think Jalen threw in college in his whole career? Do I even need to answer the question?
Nope.
20. Boom. Guilty as charged.
Just damning legal analysis there, Tony. And got to look at the other side of this game. It's just the Lions, they're feeling down, coming in as the 1 seed, then just going down in horrible flames as they always do. And, you saw their head coach, Dan Campbell, at the presser after the game, just in tears.
Yeah, crying.
And, you wish you could say something to make it feel better. And, we probably do have the thing to say that, Tony, that there really is a bright side here for Dan Campbell and the Lions, isn't there?
Dan Campbell's forgetting the most important thing in all of sports, tradition. Yep. And there's no more time-honored tradition in sports than the Lions totally sucking. Yep. I know Dan Campbell wanted to win, but if he did that, it would have been a slap in the face to all the mediocre and disappointing Lions teams that came before him and upheld that proud tradition of sucking. Yep. In fact, I was glad to see him crying at the press conference because that's what Lions football's all about. Crying after devastating losses. So good for you, Dan Campbell.
Just so poetically said there, Tony. And while we're talking Lions coaches, a lot of people, they're saying Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn might have cost himself a potential head coaching job after the team gave up 45 points to the Commanders.
No.
But that's not the case at all, is it, Tony?
No. My sources tell me that by giving up all those points, Aaron Glenn has now firmly cemented himself as the frontrunner to become the next head coach of the New York Jets. Wow. The Jets front office were really impressed with how uninspired and totally lost the Lions defense looked the entire game, especially when they were unable to count how many men were on the field. That makes him a perfect fit for Jets football. Yep. And remember, he even played there too, leading the Jets defense to a humiliating conference championship loss to the Broncos. Just sounds like a perfect fit to me.
Just absolutely rock solid analysis and also sourcing there, Tony. And
Thank you.
We have to move to that Ravens-Bills game. Just an absolutely heartbreaking loss for the Ravens. They lose to the Bills 27-25 after Mark Andrews dropped a pass on the 2-point conversion that would have tied it. But, Tony, hate to say it, but if there's one person who really deserves the blame here, it's Lamar Jackson, isn't it?
Yeah, I have to agree. Lamar Jackson forgot the cardinal rule. Never trust a man with 2 first names.
Yup.
Mark Andrews.
Yup.
That right there should have told him, don't throw it to him. I mean, Lamar Jackson has surrounded himself with too many men with 2 first names.
Yup.
Derrick Henry, Justin Tucker.
Yup.
And Lamar doesn't understand because he has 2 first names. Lamar Jackson. Just really bad roster management by the Ravens and also Lamar.
Just staggeringly bad football decisions all around that, Tony.
Yep.
And, now we got to look at the other game in the AFC. The Chiefs, they beat the Texans. And, people, they're saying, well, the Texans actually outplayed the Chiefs. But we got to disagree with that, Tony.
Totally.
I mean, you just got to look at Texans QB C.J. Stroud. This loss clearly falls squarely on his shoulders. I mean, Tony, it was clear watching Stroud's performance that he didn't put in nearly the same level of preparation that Patrick Mahomes did he?
No, I mean, I analyzed the game film, and more importantly, the pregame film, and I didn't see C.J. Stroud do a single thing to butter up the refs.
Nope.
He didn't say hi to them or give them a hello hug or ask how their kids were doing, or even, give them an Olive Garden or Panera gift card so they could have a free meal after the game. Those are the things the Chiefs are so good at and clearly doing. And if C.J. Stroud and the Texans want to be competitive, they've got to start thinking of those things and buying more gift cards.
Just terrific analysis there, Tony, and such a great way to close out this NFL reaction show.
Hey.
No.
Wait,
we almost made it out, though. Wait a second. Where the hell are you right now?
Where's that
coming from? You're not in your studio there.
Where are you?
What does that matter?
What does that matter?
You only produce the show, I guess. Or actually,
it's only your job. What does that matter?
Where are you?
I'm here. Doesn't matter. I'm here.
Where's here?
I'm in the city.
Were you watching the game?
Yeah, did you go to the game?
What are you doing?
I was in the theater.
The theater?
What were you seeing? The Phantom of the Loser?
No, it was the play, Driving Miss Daisy.
Oh, my God, Tony. It's a divisional round games. Our producer's going to see a play.
You know, I really wish you'd go see Driving Off a Cliff.
That's what I'd like you to see.
Yeah, that's what you should see.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
What do you want?
You're
Why are
give
you
us
even
your corrections?
talking? What is it?
What?
Yes, correction.
What? Go.
You really think Nick Foles will unretire after being out of the league for 2 years?
Bound to happen, bro.
Yeah, our sources say it's a lock, bro.
Yeah.
My source is Instagram. And Nick Foles just posted a photo of himself having a coffee in Mexico City. So I don't think he's coming back next week.
Oh, yeah, well, we're going to send you to Mexico City where you're going to have a coffin.
Yeah. You're not going to be coming back to life.
Oh! Can't wait for that.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still talking.
Oh, he's still
What?
talking. What?
You said the Commanders copied the Eagles by drafting Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, their names sound alike.
And they play alike too, bro.
Yeah.
No, first of all, that's not copying.
Oh.
Second, Jaden Daniels has a way better arm than Jalen Hurts. So that's a stretch.
Oh, you want to see an arm? I'll show you an arm. My firearm.
Yeah. You know what will never be a stretch? When you enter a woman. Oh, you're done.
Yeah, you're done. Oh,
Yeah.
and you know why you're really done? Because I just got an email from the person who you'll say is on vacation. Guess who's booked on the show next week? Looks like he'll be in the country. Super Bowl hero Nick Foles.
Boom.
Yeah, as he ramps up for the playoffs.
Yup,
Wait till you hear that
exactly.
interview. Anyway, hey, don't forget, rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts.
Buy the merch too.
And go buy all the merch. You
Yup.
can click all the descriptions in the links
Yeah,
below.
do
And
it all.
Tony,
You got homework.
Tony, great job as always.
Same to you, Paulie. Another flawless show.
Yup. We'll see you people later this week.
See ya.